Well, I'm just taking a quick drive up to the high forestry in the valleys just above our village, and I'm coming to check out some cameras that I left about 2.5 months ago. And the cameras are set for a very shy and rather scarce resident of this area, and that's the Roe Deer. In about June time I came up here and set out the cameras ready to catch the Roe Deer while they're on their rut. And the Roe Deer ruts when they do all their mating. And the forestry up here is one of the few places locally where I can find Roe Deer. I've just been scolded by a little bird. I think it's probably a willow tit. So this is one of the few places locally where I find Roe Deer. Roe Deer are very, very low on the ground in Wales, despite the considerable habitat available for them. And the good thing about the Roe Deer rut is the male Roe Deer will cover an awful lot of ground looking for the females, the does, and that gives them a really good chance of appearing in front of the cameras, because most of the year this area is quite devoid of wildlife. There are birds and wildlife up here. There's badgers and there's quite a lot of foxes, and there's obviously voles and mice for them to eat. And the birds are pretty specialist, they're quite good. Lots of crossbill up here and siskin and redpoll, and then you've got the birds that'll eat them like sparrowhawk and goshawks. But the Roe Deer are really scarce on the ground here, and the good thing about putting the cameras out now for the Roe Deer rut is that the male deer, the roebucks, they cover an awful lot of ground, and it's a really good chance for them to appear in front of the cameras, because if I leave the cameras out for most of the year, I may get the Roe Deer on them, but you know, it's so unlikely. They're on such a low density in this area. They do seem to be increasing, and last year I had a very good first attempt with them, insofar as I actually got some. Anyway, I'm just going to go and check the camera now, and fingers crossed there'll be something worthwhile there. Okay, let's see what we've got. We've got some triggers. Oh, the first one's an absolutely splendid buck, just bounding away. And the second one's a jay. There's quite a few jays in the forestry. That's probably one of the most common corvids I see up here. Oh, night scene, there's a badger. Having a good sniff around. Digging away at something. I wish I'd positioned the camera a bit lower now. The trouble is, if you position the cameras too low, they tend to get nosed over. Oh, next clip. That's a young fox going straight to where the badger was. Oh, he's just flopped down. Oh, there's a second fox. Again, having a good sniff around. Don't know where the other one went to. I think he's rolling in something too. Maybe that was a badger latrine. The area is quite torn up just behind me. And like all dogs, they do like to roll in smelly things. It probably smells absolutely wonderful to the fox. next day, roebuck, really nice roebuck, going straight through the scene. Oh, night time, probably that same buck. Next clip and he's back. Looking quite calm. Sometimes the cameras set them off. I think when the cameras come to life, there's a fox. I think when the cameras come to life, they make a subtle hum. It often startles any sensitive animals nearby. He's having a good sniff around that area again. That's an adult fox that time. There goes the roebuck again. Oh, spider web. That's higher. And there's a spider. Oh, there's a roebuck just behind him. Oh, that's a very nice roebuck too. Oh gosh, that's an absolute cracker. Look at him. Yeah, spiders are a bit of a occupational hazard when using trail cameras. Oh, I think that was the first doe. That's a buck bounding away, but I think that was the first doe that I've seen. There's our big buck again. Last year I only recorded, there's a fox. Last year I only recorded roebucks, so that was the first roe doe that I've seen. The fox changed his mind, came back. The foxes weren't at all, but oh, that's a different fox, that's a youngster. The foxes aren't at all aware of the camera. It's really unusual. There's a lot of sound up here though, with the susurration of wind through the pines. And there's our doe again. That's a really lovely clip. Looking quite calm this time. Oh, that's a second. That looks like a youngster. That must be one of last year's fawns. Oh, and there we go, there's twins. Definitely last year's. Oh, that's fantastic. That's the first evidence that they're actually breeding up here. Next night, the web's a bit knocked about. And there's our doe with her fawns. I can see one of them's a young male. Look at the little nubs on his top of his head. She's having a good close sniff. Oh, not sure about it. Oh, that's absolutely wonderful. Oh, it'd be lovely to one year catch the doe with some very young fawns. The spider. Setting off the sensor. Looks like he might be trying to repair his web, unfortunately. Go away. I've had this happen before. Spiders can be a real pain when they build a nest right over the lens. That was a slim buck. Looking quite healthy though. It's supposed to be later. That's a big buck. That's got to be the big one again. But you can see his summer coat's changing to the thicker winter coat. So this must be quite late. And there's me. Gosh, I wonder when when that last buck crossed. Before I came along. It's impossible to tell really, there's no date stamp on these. Oh, that's lovely. To see several different bucks and then to see the doe with two fawns was absolutely fantastic. I'll have to give some thought as to future camera positions.